Have you gotten to the middle of January and not prepared yourself for 2022? Well, don't worry, because same. In this video, I'm going to be getting my life together for the new year and showing you how you can too. Good morning. First vlog of 2022, baby, let's get it. Ooh. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so tired. Last night I kept having this like reoccurring dream. Does that ever happen to you? Like I had a bad dream and I woke up and was like, whoa, that was weird, and then went back to sleep and then the dream happened again. I reckon it happened like 2 or 3 times. So my alarm went off at 7 and I was like, I cannot, like I cannot. So it is now 9:14, which is a lot later than I wanted to get up today. It's okay because today we're getting our life together. It's 2022. It's time to get it together. We've got goals we need to achieve, things we need to do, places we need to go. So let's get it. Also, waking up with lash extensions is always such a fun experience. You never know what they're gonna look like. This eye has gone so wonky. Also, nails, they will be getting done today. They will be getting done today. Okay, let's do it. Let's get up. Let's get it. Woo, 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 woo. Trying to psych myself up for this. So the start of my 2022 has not exactly gone as planned. I feel like this happens to a lot of people though. There's always this expectation that at the start of the new year, you're gonna like be this whole new person, set all these goals, like achieve all these goals and everything like that. Okay, so I kind of put a little bit of that pressure on myself. Also, I'm using the Cetaphil Oily Skin Cleanser. I swear by this stuff, it is so good. It's like the only thing that's cleared my acne like when I had it. But January 1st was elite. I was down staying with my parents. I set all my goals in the morning when I woke up. I woke up with no hangover. Which, like, I'm a 26-year-old. I should be waking up with hangovers after 2 drinks. Like, that's what normally happens. I set all my goals. I did my journal. I'm gonna talk more about my goals and my intentions and everything like that with you guys, and like how I set my goals and everything like that. January 2nd, Cal and I drove back to Melbourne. That night, I started getting this like really bad chest pain. Kind of felt like something was like pressing on me. Every time I close this cupboard door, the camera moves to the left, but at least now we don't have the towel in the background. I probably should have started with this, to be honest. But I was having this really weird chest pain. I was like, okay, that's so strange, but whatever, I'll just go to sleep. Hopefully when I wake up it's gone. So the next day I woke up and I was like, what if it's COVID? Even though I hadn't been to any exposure sites or had seen anyone who I knew had COVID, I was like, I should probably get tested. And then I started freaking out because I was like, what if I have COVID? Cal tries to find me a RAT test, which is like a rapid COVID test that you can take at home, but he can't find one because there's like none anywhere at the moment. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go get a PCR test. We drive to one of the testing sites. The wait time was about 2 hours, which is actually pretty good at the moment. Also, I'm just about to use the, oh, I think that's out of focus. Hello. The Ordinary Niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. Love this stuff so much. This bottle is also almost run out, so don't mind me using this in the least aesthetic way possible. Maybe I'll try and do it this way. I always just put it on my hands, but I think you're meant to like drip it onto you. Ooh, look at that. This is why I don't do it that way. So we got the test, and the turnaround time for results at the moment in Melbourne is also very long. It's about 5 days. So I started isolating at home, whatever, and then that night I couldn't get to sleep and my chest pain was so bad. It got to 2 a.m. and I turned to Kel and I was like, I think I need to go to the emergency room. So I go to the emergency room and I get everything checked out. They do an ECG on my heart. They do various blood tests. I'm there from about 2 a.m. till I think 7 a.m. They did a COVID rapid test there and that came back negative as well. So I didn't have COVID. Everything comes back fine, like thankfully, but they reckon that it was from like stress and anxiety. So that happened on the 3rd and today is now the 11th. My chest pain is finally gone, but from like the 3rd to the 9th, I was just resting at home. And as much as like I knew I needed to rest and recover, that isn't what I saw myself doing at the start of the year. Like I had all these goals that I set, I had all these plans and things I was gonna do, and I ended up just resting. Okay, we're a little bit too turned. There we go. This is the Cetaphil Pro Acne Prone Moisturizer with SPF 25. This is the best SPF moisturizer, period. But yeah, it's January 11th now. You know, I could easily just go, oh well, I lost the first like nearly half of the month. I'll just start again in February, like whatever, like cancel the January goals, cancel the resolutions, like cancel the new year, new me. I'll just start her again in February. But no, I'm not gonna do that. You can change your life any day. You can work towards your goals any single day, any day of the week. So that's what we're doing in this vlog. Does anybody else take a good like 1 to 2 hours to drink their coffee? Like I'm never, well, I don't want to say I'm never going to be that person because that's like not the vibes of this video, but I've never been the person to just have a coffee in like 10 minutes and move on. It's just who I am. First thing I want to do today to get my life together for this year is to tidy up my room. Honestly, it's not that bad. There's just a pile of clothes on the ground, and as soon as I leave my cupboard doors open, it just looks messy. There's also some things in my cupboard that I have definitely just thrown in there that I could like refold. But I also want to make my bed. That is something that I typically do as soon as I wake up. Like I'll get up, wash my face, come back and make my bed. Making your bed is, it's like the first accomplishment of the day. It makes your room and your space look tidy. Like I highly recommend it if you don't do it. But I also got 2 new pillows from Emma Sleep and a new mattress topper as well that I'm so excited to put on my bed. Wait until you see my old mattress topper. It is so gross. I feel like having this new one is really going to elevate my 2022 like new year, new mattress topper. Honestly, this coffee has done wonders because I felt like I'd been hit by a truck when I woke up, and now I have so much energy. Also, I keep telling myself like, you have energy, you're wide awake, it's gonna be the best day. I think my brain's like catching on. I'm like, okay, I'm having a good day. So this is the bit in my cupboard that I think could just be folded a little bit better. I really wish I had enough coat hangers to hang like all of this stuff up, but until I have them, they could definitely be folded a lot nicer. Oh, okay. Thanks, babe. I guess we're hanging you back up too. Okay, it's not perfect, but it is a lot better. At least I can see everything and everything's folded nicely. So this is my current mattress topper. Guys, this used to be white. Like when I first got it, it was completely white. And now it is like fluorescent yellow. That is literally from like sweat and dirt and just like so gross. Like she's gotta go. Okay, out with the old and in with the new, baby. So this is the Emma Sleep Flip Topper, and it sits right on top of your mattress to provide a layer of comfort. Guys, look at this. Look how squishy this is. Like you already know it's gonna be so comfortable. What's amazing about this flip topper is, well, first, it's 100% vegan and non-toxic, which is definitely the vibes for 2022, but it is also customizable. So you can choose between sleeping on the firmer side or the softer side. Basically, like no matter what your sleep preference is, you're covered. Oh, one, I should not have done that with a claw clip in. That was such a bad idea. But this is so comfortable. Hey, Cal. Pretty good. The cover is also washable. So one, it's not going to go crusty yellow like my old one, which was so bad. But it's perfect if you have allergies because you can just chuck it in the wash. Guys, this is my old pillow that I've had since like 2012 or 13. It is so, it's in dire need of replacement. Look at all like the fake tan and stuff stained on it. It's been through a lot, but I loved her. But look at this, guys. I have upped my game. Look at this new pillow. She's fresh, she's clean. She's also still foam, so I love her. Okay guys, I read up on this and apparently you're meant to change your pillows every 1 to 2 years. So my old one from 2012 is well and truly ready to go. So this is the Emma Sleep foam pillow, and like the mattress topper, it is customizable. So no matter if you sleep on your side, on your back, or on your stomach, this is perfect for you because you can just adjust the layers inside according to your sleep needs. Like I mentioned, I was obsessed with my old pillow, but I have been using this the last couple of nights and I am 100% converted. Like I am now
not in love with this pillow.
I have brought in some assistants to put the doona in the doona cover because this is my least favorite job ever.
Let me just take it from here.
So, if you're watching this and thinking, damn, I have not changed my bedding in years, not only is this your sign to replace all of it in the name of self-care, but I've got you covered. Emma Sleep currently have up to 55% off until January 16, and you can also use my code BethG5 to save an additional 5% on your order. Okay, so one of my goals for the year is to write in my journal every morning and every night. So far, I have not missed a day. Don't want to brag, but I wanted to go over my journal routine with you guys because I feel like it's such a good thing to implement into your routine. And I know like when you're starting, it can feel a bit overwhelming and it can be like, what do I even write in this thing? So for starters, I just write in a plain notebook. I got this one from Kmart and I think it was only like $5 or something. And it just has the plain lines? What do you call that? It just has the lines there so you know like where to write on the lines. First thing I do is write the date at the top of the page, and then I write morning or afternoon because I'm not gonna lie, some of the days that I was resting when like my chest was in pain and I was unwell, I would wake up at like 1 p.m. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then I do 3 subheadings in the morning. So I do grateful for, today I will, and affirmations. So for grateful for, I want to say I do at least 5 or 6 each morning, and I just write down the first ones that come to my head. Like even if they sound ridiculous or you think they sound ridiculous, like on January 5th, I wrote down that I was grateful for Queer Eye because I was watching that show on repeat. It was making me happy and I was like, you know what? I'm grateful for it. So you can make them as like in-depth or I guess simple as you want them to be. Then I write down today I will. So I write down 3 main things that I want to get done in the day. If it's a really busy work day or I have a lot on, I'll write down 3 of the most important things I need to do. But if it's a more chill kind of day, I'll write down a mix of important and then things I want to do. For example, on this day when I was resting, I had replied to a brand email. Obviously that's like important. Order Hydro Flask stickers and make time to read. And those 2 things were not necessarily like important things to get done, but they're things that I wanted to do for myself. Then I write down affirmations. This is the part that I think I struggled with the most when I started journaling. I was like, I don't know how to do affirmations, and they can seem really cringy, I guess, at the start. But I think the thing with affirmations is the more you do them, the more you trick your mind into believing them. So I write down the same affirmations every morning and every night, every single day. Every now and then I'll have a different one pop into my head and I'll write that down as well. And also sometimes if I know I have a specific thing coming up, I'll write down an affirmation in regards to that. So for example, last night I wrote in my journal, in my affirmations, I am a natural at filming, like speaking in front of the camera comes naturally to me because I knew I was filming today. So I'll put some affirmation examples up on the screen. You don't have to use these ones obviously, but maybe there'll be a couple there that spark something to you. So yeah, that's what I do in the morning. And then at night, similar kind of, actually is it even similar? I mean kind of, maybe it's like completely different. So first I write night, and then I write today I'm proud that and I'll jot down 1 or 2 things I'm proud of that I did that day. And it doesn't have to be something extreme. Like yesterday I wrote down today I'm proud that I made time to read because reading is one of my goals, and in the past I'll always just kind of like brush it off and not read. So yesterday I was proud that I made time to read. Then I write down an area to improve and how I'm going to improve that. I found in the past if I just wrote down what I needed to improve and didn't write down how I was going to improve it, I didn't improve. I think it helps kind of set yourself up with a plan of how you're going to do it. So for example, on January 5th, I wrote down my area to improve was less social media, and how I was going to do that was by putting my phone away and setting timers for when I'm on social media. Similar to what I do in the morning, I then write down tomorrow I will. So instead of writing today I will, because obviously the day's over, I write down tomorrow I will, and I write down 3 things that I'm going to do the next day. Same vibes as the morning. It can be super important things to do. It can be things that you just want to make time to do. It's just 3 things you're going to do the next day. And then I write down the same affirmations again. To be honest, I normally have a little bit more space in my journal, so I'll write down a couple of different ones, but I like like that because that's where I can write down ones that will relate specifically to the next day. So that is my journal routine. If you guys like, maybe I'll put together a like Google document or something like that that has all of the prompts and some affirmation examples, things that you can write down that you're grateful for. Let me know if you guys want something like that. One of my goals, I know I keep saying one of my goals, I promise we're going to talk about goals next, but one of my goals is to set up like a website this year, so maybe that's something that could go on the website. I don't know. Okay, so like I mentioned, I've already made my goals. Also, I have my MacBook in front of me. I do all of my goals and notes and kind of any of my planning digitally. Don't sleep on Apple Notes, okay? I literally use Apple Notes for everything. But I wanted to go through some of the goals I have and also just give you guys some tips on how to set your own goals in case you have gotten to January 11th and you're like, I don't know what to do, maybe I'll just give up, or maybe sometimes like you set goals but you don't always achieve them. Don't worry, because that happens to me a lot too. What I do first is I write down areas that I want to improve, and then I break down the areas into like sections of my life. That might sound a bit confusing, but hear me out. So this year I broke it into work, physical, mental, and hobbies. And then under each of those categories, I wrote down where I want to improve in there. So for instance, for work, I wrote I want to hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Under physical, I wrote down that I want to be working out 3 times a week. I want to be doing a mixture of cardio and weights. So then for mental, I put down journaling morning and night, which I mentioned before when we were journaling together. And then under hobbies, I put start learning piano, read 6 books, and do more weekend/travel trips, COVID permitting. So that's how I started. And I think doing that, this is actually the first year that I did that. And I feel like that helped me be able to set goals from that. I was like, okay, I want to start reading more. Well, let's say X amount of books is how much I'm going to read this year. One thing that you should do when you're doing this and then starting to set the goals after you write down the areas to improve is make sure that your goals are attainable and realistic. So for instance, last year I wanted to read 24 books. I used to be so into reading, but I just never make time for it. And last year I was like, that's it, 2 books a month, 24 books in the year, I'm gonna log it in my Goodreads account. And guess what? At the end of the year, I think I'd read 5, and then I felt awful about myself. But looking back, it was a really unrealistic goal from the start. Personally, to go from nothing to 24 books, like that's a lot. So this year I wrote down that I wanted to read 6 books in total. That seems attainable to me, and it inspires me to actually want to achieve that goal because I feel like I can. Also, just because you're making your goals realistic and attainable doesn't mean that you can't dream big, because just because I've written that I want to read 6 books, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop once I hit 6 books and I'm not going to read more. So let me give you guys some examples of how I turned those dot points under those subheadings of like areas to improve into actual goals. Let's start with the reading one. I wrote down that I wanted to start reading. So then in my 2022 goals, I wrote read 6 books. One of my hobbies was that I wanted to be playing piano, so I wrote down for my 2022 goals, start playing piano. Honestly, not all of my goals came from these areas to improve. Once I started writing my goals, I came up with other ones like start my own website. But basically, I just wanted to share this with you because if you're stuck at the start when it comes to making goals, writing down areas to improve or even just subcategories of your life and jotting down what you want under there can be so helpful. Another thing I think that is really important once you've made your yearly goals is to then make monthly goals from there. That will keep you heading towards meeting your yearly goals. I think not making monthly goals and then expecting to hit your yearly goals is kind of a little bit like you're doomed from the start. So let me explain to you how I've turned my 2022 goals into monthly goals and how by hitting those monthly goals, I'm going to hit my 2022 goals. Also, some of my goals are personal. I think everyone will have kind of like personal goals they don't want to share with everyone. So that's why I haven't gone through like every single one of my goals. I'm just giving you guys some examples. So one of my goals is to journal every single morning and night, and that can seem extremely overwhelming just looking at that goal. So what I did was for my monthly goals is that I put in journal every single morning and night. Obviously it's the same goal, but seeing that I only have to do it for a month is so helpful. I'm like, okay, 31 days. Instead of getting overwhelmed by 365, like I mentioned before, one of my goals was to start learning piano and playing piano. So I wrote down in January, start learning piano, because I feel like it could be so easy to see a goal of start learning piano and go, oh yeah, maybe in like Feb or March or April. No, I'm doing it in January. And then going into February, I might have a goal of learn this song or be able wouldn't play all of these chords. Back on my reading one, I wrote start a new book and read half of it. Some of my other goals that are just kind of fun, I think. Like I didn't really need to make them, but I wanted to make them to better my life in a fun way. I don't even know if that makes sense. But one of my goals that I wrote down was learn how to make a new cocktail each month. I don't need to do that for my life. Like I could get through my whole life not doing that, but it's fun and I want to be able to do that. And I think it's important to make goals for yourself that aren't just work related or fitness related, or well, I guess you could do a fitness one. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. So I wrote down that I wanted to learn how to make a new cocktail each month in my 2022 goals. So then in my monthly goals, I wrote for January, learn how to make a margarita. And then for February, I might write down, learn how to make some other cocktail. This is also why this is one of my goals for the year, because I only know how to make an espresso martini and I just want to be that girl who can make like heaps of different cocktails. Like people come over and I'm like, well, let me make you this. But yeah, that's some of my yearly goals and monthly goals. What you can do as well is you can break that down even further to weekly goals, which is what I've done, but I haven't made my weekly goals for this week, which maybe I'll do now. Okay, I'll share with you my weekly goals from last week so that you can get an example of how I broke down like my monthly goals into weekly goals. So for instance, one of my monthly goals was to start a new book and read half. So I wrote down for my weekly goals, read at least 4 out of 7 nights. Another one for the month was start learning piano, start playing piano. So I wrote down play piano for 30 minutes every single day. Hopefully this makes sense, but basically I think if you set your yearly goals, look at ways that you can then break it into a monthly goal. And then if you want to break that into a weekly goal, and then you'll find yourself hitting your yearly goals and your monthly goals because you're just setting small tasks each day, each week, rather than just looking at your 2022 goals and being like, oh my God, how the heck am I gonna just like do that? Set a goal and then make a plan. Trust me on it. Anyway, I'm going to update my weekly goals and then I'm actually gonna go grocery shopping. I don't need to do a full grocery shop, but I do need to get a couple of things that we've run out of. Also, guys, let me know below if you want to see more of my like Apple Notes setup. I have a whole system for grocery shopping and meal prepping and I'm really proud of it. So let me know if you guys want to see that, but essentially I've already made my grocery list. I know what things I want to get. So I'm going to set my weekly goals, go grocery shopping, and then also get my nails done because this is not the vibes for 2022. In 2022, we are eating well. So that means we are grocery shopping. 2 tips I have for you which you can use today are 1, do not go if you're hungry. 2, make a list before you go. Both of these tips used together are gonna stop you from buying unnecessary food that's gonna go to waste or food that you don't want to eat. Okay, I just got back from the nail salon. I just went with a classic French tip. I wanted to get this design that I found on Pinterest. I actually have a Pinterest board that I started dedicated to nail art, like designs that I want to get. So if you need some inspo, I will link that Pinterest board below. But they couldn't do that because they were short-staffed today. So I just went with a French tip. We love a little classic French moment. But I am just about to go to the gym. I haven't told you guys this, but one of my goals for this year is to get abs. I have never had abs before, period. I also don't see myself like having and maintaining abs long term, but there's just something about having abs that I want to say that I've done. Like even if I just got them and had them for a week and then just maintained like a body that was like sustainable for me and a body that I was happy with, like I wouldn't even care. I just want to say that I've had abs. So about to go to the gym to do a weighted workout. Also one of my goals was to do more weight workouts this year because last year I did so much cardio. Like I'm a cardio queen. Like I will run as much as you want me to run. I will do 12 3:30 as many times as you want me to, but my body needs weight workouts and I'm not strong. Like I want to be strong. I want to be strong. I want to lift things. I want to have like, what do they call it? The cheese grater abs? Like you grate the, I feel like I'm embarrassing myself here. But I just want to be strong and I want to have abs and I want to be toned. actually haven't made one this good in a while. Okay, besties, let's make a vision board. I made my first ever vision board last year and so many things off it came true. I got this camera. This is essentially the view from our new apartment. I literally have this outfit. So your first step is to go onto Pinterest and find all of your images and then save them to your desktop or phone. If you're already like, okay, but what images do I get? Envision what you want your year to look like and find images that reflect that. So I'm going to use Adobe InDesign to make my vision board, but you can also use Canva or PicMonkey. Now you can arrange your pictures however you want on the canvas. This is one of those things where you can just play around with it until you like it, but once you finish that, you can export it, you can save it, do what you gotta do. Now put that vision board somewhere where you're gonna see it every single day. I make mine my phone and my Mac background. Seeing it every single day and as many times as you can every day helps so much. Trust me on it.